6609. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, is this Mr. Werner?
Praise the Lord, it certainly is.
All right. My name is Tricia. I'm with Bank of America Home Loans. I'm required to let you know that this call may be monitored for quality assurance purposes. The reason that I was calling you today, Mr. Werner...
Yeah, you guys call about every week or so regarding the lawsuit.
Collection activity continues.
Well, the lawsuit is just kind of dragging on. And your company's been misrepresenting itself over and over and over. Do you realize that you're working for a fraudulent company filled with thugs who should be in jail?
Huh?
Do you realize that you're working for a fraudulent company run by thugs who should be in jail?
I should be in jail?
No. Run by thugs who should be in jail. You're not running the company. What's your title?
I'm a collections person. You're right.
Well, what's the title?
Collections representative.
Collections representative. Listen, you're not only, you gotta look at this, okay? You're not only a collections representative. You are the person where, that's it right there. I mean, if the people who run the company, the leaders, former Angelo Mozilo and then now, of course, Kenneth Lewis, if they didn't have you, well, they wouldn't be able to run their company. And they wouldn't be able to run their company fraudulently the way they are. Do you realize there's a lot of fraud happening at your company?
No, I wasn't aware, but I'd be more than interested in hearing about it. I'm eager to know what, I thought I was with an honest company.
Yeah, well, I used to work in the banking industry, and for example, the company writes many, dirty, fraudulent loans. In my case, it was clean, but, most of them, they lie to the borrowers, they drag them on, they tell them they're going to get one rate, they get another rate, they hide fees in the origination, they manipulate appraisals to get a value either higher than what the properties are worth or lower than what the properties are worth just so they can get PMI on it. Whatever the case might be. They get embedded title companies to, get title fees to be what they want them to be. It just goes on and on and on, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You might not be as familiar with the title issues, and appraisal issues, and, it's overall origination because you work with collections, you know what I'm saying? On the collections end, I'll give you a little breakdown what they do. We're in court right now.
Excuse me.
Yes. Professional. What again did you say your name was?
Huh?
What again did you say your name was?
My name is Tricia.
Tricia.
Yes, sir.
So on the collections end, Tricia, what they do is, these cases are in lawsuits right now, so they try to drag their feet with these things because they're desperately trying to get this judgment and then, the eventual sale of it. So in my case, to make it a very glaring example, they'll tell you, oh yeah, we'll agree to do a short sale, which you're familiar with that, right?
Yes, sir.
There's a process for that, and then they'll try to tell you that they'll give you an opportunity to deed the property to the bank.
Correct.
Referred to a deed in lieu, yeah. Correct. So, after 90 days you can do that. Well, they're doing this just because they want to try to, in court, add fees for attorneys, add fees for interest to the bank, late fees, you name it, and then they'll, get that ultimate judgment. Because they know that they're in bed with the magistrates. Now not the bank, the actual, third parties that they hire, which are also debt collectors too. They're attorneys. They're kind of like you, but they don't call you. They just kind of hang out and they drink with the magistrates. They snort lines with the magistrates and judges and staff attorneys and all that, and bailiffs. And then they try to get what they want, and, doing favors, they get X, Y, and Z. So, does that make sense? They, try to work?
It does make sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. So, now, me explaining all this,
What?
you know, is this really a company you think you should be representing in any way?
It doesn't sound like I should. I mean, I was not aware of any of that information prior to our conversation today.
How long have you been there, Tricia?
5 months.
5 months.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? There's a lot more going on, though. I mean, well, for example, you've heard of Angelo Mozilo, right?
Correct.
You wouldn't know a whole lot about him because you've only been there for 5 months. But you know what? He was the founder of Countrywide, which is an extremely corrupt company. I didn't know this until, of course, I really got into the business and talked to people who worked there and dealt with some of their representatives through my own business. Just couldn't believe how unprofessional everything was. But check this out. The SEC finally caught on to this. They learned that water really is wet and fire really is hot, Tricia. Mm-hmm. On Thursday, they, filed charges against Mr. Mozilo for fraud, insider trading, everything else. He truly did know the weakness of the bank and how it was really not liquid. It wasn't doing too well, in other words, just like about 100% of the other banks out there. Mm-hmm. And he sold a lot of the stock while the stock was still high, and then it went down to like $4 a share, which of course at that point he didn't really care because he'd already dumped all his stock because he knew that the bank was hurting and he needed to get out of CFC, mm-hmm. Countrywide Financial Corporation.
Yes, I know.
So that's where it all goes back to, And then Kenneth Lewis, of course, that's insider trading. That's another problem that they're allowing over there. And our government's the one responsible for it more than anybody else, I'm just here to expose it and put a big bright spotlight on it. Kenneth Lewis does the same exact thing. It's a bigger company than Countrywide was. And of course they got Merrill Lynch now. Merrill Lynch, I used to work there as an intern. I know many people who work there. It's extremely corrupt as well. So the whole Bank of America system, which by the way I've given billions and billions and billions of dollars to as a taxpayer, which I'm sure you're aware, is extremely corrupt. I don't see how it can last much longer. But hey, you're in a situation, Tricia, where you need a job. You're probably making $14, $15 an hour as a part-timer. And it's a job, right?
Okay. Thank you for all that information. I definitely will be looking up and following up with some of that interesting information because it was very interesting indeed. However, the reason that I was calling you this morning, Mr. Werner, was to find out what your intentions were for this property.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you asked that, Tricia, because I've discussed this with multiple representatives over there at Bank of America Home Loans, Countrywide Home Loans, whatever they want to call themselves now. I just call it the United States of America because I'm the company. You have a ton of notes there on your system, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. These people that are up above you, they're upper management, they call themselves executives, vice presidents, all kinds of different words. Here's the thing. They're trying to train you in such a way to only say this, only say that. Don't forget to tell the borrower, the homeowner, that, their house has not yet gone to sale. Remind them that they're basically deadbeats, but make it look real nice, We're looking out for you because they're trying to put the guilt on the borrower, when in reality, the company is filled with fraud. Here's the thing. You got notes there. You can review those notes to see what's been happening for the past, 6 months or so now. We've been in court, and you see that there was a short sale procedure, occurring back in August, September, October, November, and then the company decided not to fulfill their deed in lieu in November. You got all that there?
Mm-hmm. I do see that. I also see what you were trying to do.
Yeah, my intention